Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Cozymon highlights. I say highlights, but realistically these do have their own content, so they're not really just highlights. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, hello, welcome back to another Cozymon episode. I've done 2 streams since the last one, as per usual, and I've also done some work off stream that I'm going to get into, and I'm gonna do some more work on stuff after I record this video segment. So, I'm going to send you over to my voiceover self to go and tell you about the stuff that happened on stream this week. And then, as per usual, we'll cut back over to what I've been doing off stream. And, yeah, we're gonna do some actual significant progress on museum stuff, because I gotta be honest, museum is all I care about right now. Museum is love. Museum is life. Alright. I'll send you over to my pre-recorded self. Bye-bye. Go have fun over there. Admittedly, the first stream since the last episode was not the most eventful. We did some museum planning, and I went over a lot of what I wanted to do with the museum and plans and stuff, and just watch that VOD, honestly, for that, because that's like half an hour of me explaining what I want to do with it. But by the hour and a half point, we got interrupted by Far, who wanted to come see how my reaction to the prank she pulled on me, which was she hid a bunch of Mimikyu plushies around the museum and wanted to see if I had found all of them, which I did, admittedly, because the museum's not that big yet, or at least it wasn't. And so when Far was over at my base, we were chatting for a little bit, and then Twisted joined. And then the 3 of us ended up chatting for a good hour and a half, during which Twisted invited myself, and Far to play the Invoker demo, the demo of the game Invoker with him, which we did, and that was a lot of fun, and you can go watch that VOD. It's really good. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that quite a lot. But that was the end of my progress on Cozymon for that stream. The following stream was much more productive, as we made some progress, well, not some, a lot of progress on the animals exhibit, with first making the enclosure that Sputnik now lives in, our armadillo friend, who is now canonically a ghost possessing a taxidermied armadillo that was originally just an armadillo, a taxidermied armadillo in the exhibit, but is now alive and wandering that exhibit, unable to get out of the glass enclosure. So I really like how that came out, and I love the little lore of Sputnik. He's my favorite. He's such a little guy. He's cute. But I also did some Pokedex entries and things related to Pokemon. Well, not related. Basically, along the walls of the animal exhibit, and it will be for other exhibits too, although in different spaces, are a bunch of Pokedolls with books next to them with Pokedex entries and general information about the Pokemon. The Dex entries have varying degrees of interesting stuff about the Pokemon. These are all like official Pokedex entries from the games. But we are explicitly going for the oldest versions, where applicable, of those Dex entries we can find, as to emphasize that some of the information in this museum is either outdated or favoring very specific biases and sources. That there's something wrong here, and that's why. And that's not why, but it's evident because of that. And with that said, that is kind of all we got up to, other than the bits I've done off stream, like building out hallways and stuff like that. But there is one more thing that I did do, which I will cover the stuff that I did off screen, and the final bit I started doing on this most recent stream in this, well, not live, but in this recorded clip that you're about to see. And with that, I have to say, go enjoy that. Woo!
Who's that Pokemon?
So, as you have literally just seen, I've done some work on museum stuff. And, also, we had a far hide Mimikyu around the base. So, there's a couple things of note that I don't know what degree of I'll be able to include and stuff. So, we have this hallway, which doesn't really have much in it. It's not anywhere close to finished, and I don't plan on finishing it for a little bit, starting to work on it, because, namely, I don't know what I'm doing for the lights on the ceiling, and I'm probably going to use glowstone or shroom lights, which means going into the nether. Don't want to do that yet. And then, over on this side, we made a little bit of progress on the stream. We made a bench, we made the display cabinet, and I off-stream extended the hallway and did some more, like, planning for, like, stuff. If you want to hear me, like, talk about how I planned the museum and stuff, that is on the one of the recent streams I spent like a good half hour explaining my thought process when designing this layer of the museum and like stuff like that. But one thing that I haven't shown you is so I made this on stream, this enclosure with Sputnik in it, wherever Sputnik is. There you are, buddy, coming out to see me. Hi Sputnik, my beloved. He always comes up right to the glass to see me. It's adorable. But this room looks a little bit different since you would have seen it on stream. Namely, these. So, I don't remember if it was my idea or Esh's idea. I think it was my idea to put, basically, to have pictures of Pokemon above their things. Because what we've done is we've put a Pokédoll of a Pokemon, the name and their type, and then basically a bunch of information on the Pokemon in there. Like, the Furret, long body Pokemon, normal, like type, egg group, ability, hidden ability, and then some dex entries, or one in certain cases. And so I just now made these, which we're using the immersive paintings from the immersive paintings mod to pretty much just like pretty much by doing it as paintings instead of graffiti, it means I can add a border like this, which means I don't have to custom add a flat frame in the image itself, and it just looks a lot better like this. Furret's eye is a bit cut off there, but it's kind of funny because it makes it look long. It makes Furret look longer, which is kind of funny. And so the background of the painting is corresponding to the type, the Pokemon's type, and so Furret has like a gray background, Rowlet has like the grass background and like flying background, although that's not the actual flying. I was doing finaglery but whatever, in like a flying kind of background. Ampharos just has the electric one, and then Marshadow has one of the things that was definitely an Esh suggestion, but not for Marshadow specifically, but in general. Esh suggested on my most recent stream on Cozymon that I should have some of the paintings like torn or burned or something, and I love that so much. And because Marshadow is added not by Cobblemon itself, but by one of the add-ons, the Cobblemon wiki, like the Cobble Dex, doesn't actually have a good picture of Marshadow, which I think was a really good excuse to have Marshadow's painting just be torn down because I couldn't get a picture of it. And so like I made like a backboard texture, I got like a PNG of some torn paper, because this is what the actual image looks like, but with the frame it's condensed in a way that it looks like there's still a little bit of like paper or painting left on there, but the whole thing's just been torn out. Which also coincides by the fact that Marshadow has like the none-discovered egg group, none-discovered hidden abilities, because it doesn't have one thumb because mythical, but its dex entry is very simple. It lurks in the shadows of others, copying their movements and powers. This Pokemon is craven and cowering. That is not scientific at all. like, that sounds more like judgment by a third party. Because they have a Pokemon that they don't know much about, and so they just have folklore. And so they just have a doll of it to represent what they think it looks like, but it's potentially wrong, who knows? And they don't have and the picture of it has been torn out for whatever reason. And then we have Sandy Gas, which just has Ghost, the Ghost background, and then the ground one. And then we have Phantom, which has the Ghost thing and the grass thing. And then Litwick, which Litwick does not have a Pokédoll as far as I'm aware. I don't think we could double check, but yeah, Litwick doesn't have a Litwick's line doesn't have Pokédolls. And so, Litwick's whole thing is that it apparently fuels its flame by feeding on the life force of others. And so the idea of there just being a single white candle here with the dex entry that tells you that, and that it like feeds on the life force of people who it guides, having that dex entry be there, having a living flame, and then the painting of Litwick being burned away. Because I could do a normal painting of Litwick, but I think with the fact that this is only a candle here, it works quite well to just have the painting thing. And then, there's a whole bunch more. I'm not going to go through every single Pokedex entry because that would take a while, but yeah, we have Smoliv, we have Doliv, and we have Arbolivia. And then, we have, I love the Absol Pokédoll just because it's Lemming, and it's adorable. We have Absol, and then we have a Munchlax, and then we have Snorlax. Legitimately, Snorlax's things do actually disturb me, because what do you mean that it eats moldy food and, like, it can dissolve poisons it eats? Like, that's insane. Oh, gosh. Because, like, the idea with this, right, was that the entries were going to just be, like, fairly normal, a lot of them. And then there's just going to be some that are, like, really disturbing. And, yeah, you have the Bulbasaur line, of Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. And then, anyway, we have Snowrunt's lines, the Snorunt, Glalie, and Frostlass, and then there's a couple of things that are empty, including that. I don't know what that is. There's a couple things that are empty because I couldn't figure out Pokédolls for them yet. I'm probably gonna need to take a trip over to Spawn to secure more Pokédolls in order to put in order to get them in this exhibit and stuff. And then, like, we need more exhibits for, like, the floor area as well, but I don't have ideas for that yet. Overall, though, I'm really happy with how this room is coming out. It's quite good. I need to do the paintings for all of those as well, obviously, but, like, that's a lot of work, and that's not the main priority today. Because the main thing I am working on in this moment is, if we go over here, swimming through the air, the roof. Because on the most recent stream, I started work on this. Because there needs to be a ceiling for this, and I need to finish the walls of this room, kind of. It's a lot of work, and I don't know how much of it I'm actually practically gonna finish, because I need to get this video done and out. But at the very least, I want to finish the glass work, and I want to maybe see if I can figure out what I'm doing with the color palette and aesthetics for the rest of these walls going up. At least temporarily, because obviously the plan is to have like staircases that like at back here that go up to the second floor, meaning that these need to give way to a floor at some point, and I don't know how I'm gonna do that particularly yet. So, but yeah, at the very least I want to pull the glass all the way out, just to finish an aesthetic of that. And so, yeah, I'm gonna work on that, and you're probably gonna see cut up bits of that. So, yeah, see you in a moment.
Connection terminated. According to our intelligence, you have come in contact with DPC-UR-27 or DPC-UR-27-1. You are not in any danger. The oddity commonly referred to as SkylaWuzHere is not harmful, but caution is advised. Deviation Incorporated can issue the order to have your mind wiped of all memory of DPC-UR-27. However, if you wish to learn more, Project Open Veil dictates that the option to retain your memories is available. So, if you are intent on keeping your memories of the oddity, keep your eyes on this space until further notice. You will learn more this August, so be ready. For the sake of normalcy, Deviation Incorporated is here to help.
Litwick! Alright, so there you have it. The roof is built. This was like almost 3,000 glass or something. Like this was so much glass. So much glass. I should have seen that coming. Yeah, this was so much glass, and like, but it looks good. I'm so happy with the result. Like, there's gonna be more supports and stuff, and like there's gonna be bits for like, because there's going to be support wires for Whale Lord that are going to go up and connect to the ceiling and stuff to, like, justify the fact that the whale is floating. But gosh, that looks good, having, like, a ceiling there. I'm not going to make the supports and stuff solely because I don't know what I'm doing with the walls yet. I admittedly don't have enough time in this video to figure that stuff out, because it's a big commitment, and for figuring out what I'm gonna do for like the second floor landing and stuff. Like, I don't even know the full design I'm gonna go for the stairs to get up to the second floor, much less what the second floor is gonna look like. So yeah, but with that said, that is where I am going to wrap up today's episode. I am very, very happy with the museum progress we've made today. Look at him. Look at Whale Lord down there and the Mimikyu on top. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Cozymon or whatever stream or video or whatever you see me in. So yeah, with that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now!